What up, it's your boy Scuba Steve.
And I'm the Sodaholic.
And I'm your boy, La Chancla.
And welcome back to another podcast. Woo!
Yeah, left foot.
Woo-woo.
Got him.
I am back.
Left. You say left foot? Oh.
But did I ever leave in the first place? You will never know.
Yeah, he was just under the rug that we have here in the studio. That we don't have a studio. We're just separate in a different room.
Yeah.
And we like to think we're inside a studio when we're recording all
close
this
my
stuff.
eyes, I can pretend like
Scuba Steve left me in the closet. He forgot where I was, so I couldn't talk last time.
So the real question is, was the closet a room or was the room the house? You gotta think outside the box, my guy.
Mature thoughts. Anyways.
Well, yeah, hi guys again. And when we were discussing the topics for this week, we weren't really discussing the topics for this week. But instead, I was like, hey, let's talk. And so now we're talking.
Yup.
We're just talking.
Anyways, so the this past couple of months, the Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation and Sony has been announcing and showcasing all their games, their consoles, and all the content and material that they're gonna release in a couple of future months and years to come. We got the Xbox X series and the looking like a candlestick. We got the we got the PS5 looking like the skinny version of, I was gonna say Groot. Who's the dude from Despicable Me?
Gru?
Oh, I was close. I just had to take away the T.
Oh, you mean Vector? Oh, okay.
Oh, Vector.
Yeah, Vector. That was a terrible joke. It failed miserably when I was talking. And then updates on the Switch and Animal Crossing and other games that are coming out. But me and the crew we're gonna watch that. I think it's like next week. But and we're probably just gonna talk about that next week. But before we talk about what we think about future games and the stuff that's being brought out and what we our thoughts on the next gen. We decided to talk about games and things that are unpopular that we like but not a lot of people like, right? I mean,
I know. I don't mean to interrupt you, Scuba Steve, but that next week would be today if you're listening to this. It would be.
Oh, it would be. It would be. It's weird. It's weird how time is,
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, now you know our uploading schedule. Thank you very much.
It's not. I mean, it shouldn't be a secret, but yeah, I know. Do you guys have games, like certain games that you guys? Well, I guess it's not.
I'm a powder
we're gonna
keg
split up
of unpopular opinion about games, movies, and media.
Yeah.
So.
See, so. With what I was, and so I guess I was being specific. I was just gonna try to, the discussion was gonna be a general thing, but I wanted it to be specific. That's why I forgot to tell the people. Right, so it's not only like unpopular opinions about like games, but just like movies and TVs and other media that that is very what people watch and do. It's like discovering a new YouTube channel, and then you tell your friends, and then they're like, "Yo, it's doo-doo. Go be alone. Go sit with the doo-doo people at the lunch table, you nerd." And then you're like, "Ha, okay." And then you find solace in watching stupid Mario Bros on the Rich Alvarez channel. Shoutouts to them. They're good people. Anyways. Let's start with games. What are some unpopular games you guys like to play that you think are good?
Oh man, who's going first?
I mean, you could just go.
All right. Oh man, everyone's gonna hate me. All right, you guys ready for this?
Knack 2, baby.
So
I hate you.
Just get.
For all those people that play Call of Duty, I'm a big Call of Duty fan myself, but a lot of you guys are gonna hate me after I say this. But I never viewed Call of Duty as a real life war game. I've more viewed it as an arcade game. More because obviously for obvious reason, like the hit like time to kill is not real life time to kill. Like people would probably die faster than they die in Call of Duty. And as far as like the HUD system and all that stuff, like you're not gonna get that in real life warfare. So I've always viewed
No shit.
yeah, exactly. So I always viewed Call of Duty as an arcade game. And so, that being said, my favorite game for Call of Duty series was Advanced Warfare. The one with the exosuits where you can double jump and do all the crazy stuff. I really like that one because it, I guess, pushed the franchise kind of in a different way. And it put more emphasis on skill apart from like reaction time and ability to aim at someone really fast and aim accurately. And so you can people that are not as good at aiming and are not as good at reaction times can try to outplay people by using their exosuits to get around someone and to like cover the areas that they're not as good in. And that's why I really like that game, because like it just opened a whole new avenue for people that are not good or not super good at like reaction time and aiming. And I thought it was a really fun game.
Yeah. Yeah, if I wanted to play a game with X-Ghost, never mind, I'll stop talking.
I don't.
This is like that one episode about our game top 5 games where I can't even say echo blow. I'm done.
We're just gonna have a
see,
episode where we talk about all the words that Scuba Steve can't say.
Which is a lot.
That's a hot take right there, my guy.
Anyways,
what
do you guys think?
Was it Advanced Warfare? Was it Advanced Warfare you said?
Yeah, Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people don't like that game.
I know the reasons why I like that game are the reasons that other people don't like it, but like to me it was really fun for that reason.
If I wanted to play a game like that, I would play Titanfall 2. I feel like that game's a little bit more balanced between like, you know, using the raw jumps and you know the fast pacing movement and just the well balance between like, you know, the pilots and the but you know we already talked about it in another thing. But
yeah, I mean I don't blame you
should
for
go check
liking
it out.
Titanfall. Titanfall's a really good game. I didn't like the Titan aspect to it was kind of like the thing I didn't like the most, because you're either really good at using the Titans and the Titans just wreck the whole battlefield, or you're really bad at using the Titans and then a pilot will like board you and you'll die using your Titan, and it's kind of sad because you don't get to use it, which kind of sucked. But
Titanfall
again,
to me was really good at like big.
I really like Titanfall 2
large
because
maps,
it was a different game.
You know, big epic fights, but like I like head-on short.
Right.
I did like Advanced
What about
Warfare.
you, the Soda
I
Holly? You got
Infinite
any other
Warfare a lot
games?
more, mainly because of the campaign.
You probably just have like a bag full of games.
But
Yeah.
A bad. See, I mean, for me, just to reiterate, I love Halo 4. Yeah, fuck you guys. A lot of people have hate for that game. I don't agree, but I understand it's the least popular, and the fact that not as many people are playing it is pretty evident of its popularity. But yeah, I love everything about that game, and I think a lot of the criticism is I disagree with, but yeah, I like that game, Halo 4. It's the best Halo game.
I agree.
Yeah, that game's okay.
I liked Halo 4 because it was different. It was more fast paced. The only thing I didn't really like about Halo 4 was that a lot of the guns are really unbalanced. But other than that, like the movement system, I like more the like graphics, or like the HUD specifically looked really cool. And I like the different guns, even though the guns were unbalanced.
See, I disagree with that. I feel like, because with Halo 4, I mean, if that's how you feel, that's, maybe I mean, of course, my opinion is opinionated, but like, I felt like it was pretty balanced. Because like the DMR and the BR, the assault rifle, like there were benefits and costs to every weapon, and you can set up your class whatever way you wanted to, but depending on the situation you're in, could outweigh the opponents. If you're an up close person, the assault rifle is going to be the best option. But if you're trying to, charge at a person that's a little further away with you, with an assault rifle, you're gonna get got by a DMR or a BR. So I don't know. I thought it was a pretty good class system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a good point. All right, go, Cisco. Sorry, I was gonna say something, but you can go.
No, you can go, man.
I was gonna say, well,
I'll go. Like... Halo 4 is the superior. No.
What I was gonna say is most of the maps on Halo 4 though, are kind of what make the other guns unbalanced, because a lot of the maps are really big, and so all of the long range weapons like the DMR, the 3-burst gun, I think it's the DMR, right? That's
the BR.
No, that's the battle rifle.
Oh, the battle rifle? Well, that one's really overpowered, because like it's good at mid range, it's good at long range and close range, and it can do good in both scenarios. And as far as like long range, all the rifles are pretty much the same essentially, but the battle rifle was good no matter what, and I kind of like killed the game, because like you can't really close the ground on somebody if the map is super big. You just have to like sneak up on them, if anything. But yeah.
Well, yeah, and then it just depends on the game style, how you play it, right? I mean, if it's a big map, then you kind of learn how to sneak up on people and be a lot more quicker, because I don't like using long range guns, unless it's like SWAT or something. But I'm an assault rifle kind of guy, and I like to run and like head straight on to my enemy, like to the enemy, and so it's just like it just depends on the play style of the player, that's why I feel like it isn't that unbalanced,
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the popular game types is like big team slayer, and those are the ones with the bigger maps, and so you kind of have to learn how to, try to get up close to people, but also, I mean, yeah, there's people that get up close to each other using shotguns or any close range, and there's people that do it far away with snipers and stuff. So it's kind of like game modes like that make it more. There's more options for you to like,
yeah,
play however you want to play the multiplayer.
Scuba Steve, I don't think I've ever heard you like play a game that most people would hate. Is there a game that that you like that most people hate?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about that too. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's like
Hey, that's a great game.
I haven't played that game. Well, I haven't played a lot of games. I haven't played a lot of games, and when I do play some games, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense why it's trash. It's like, like I played The Order 1786 or 1886 or whatever, and like it's that PS4 exclusive that when the PS4 dropped, the game also came out, and I played it, and it wasn't like a terrible game. I mean, like the graphics were cool, and and like the characters were kind of dope, and the gameplay was alright, but it was just kind of short, and there was a lot of like plot holes in the story. Was just kind of more or less it felt rushed, right? So then what people thought about the game, I was like, this makes sense, but I don't think I mean, I don't know. I mean,
come on, Scuba Steve.
I
There
don't know.
has to be one game
that
you like that everyone doesn't like.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Maybe I should have thought about this more, because it's not that I don't play only good games. It's just like, oh no, like Castlevania. Was it Lord of Shadows? You guys ever heard of that one?
I thought
No.
people loved Castlevania.
The series is great. There's this game called Lament of Solace or something for the PS2, and it's a great. I played that as a kid. It was fun. I mean, the music's great. The atmosphere is like haunting and gothic, and it's really cool. I think it's like one of the best Castlevania games, And then you have the side-scroller ones that are also fun, but this one for the 360, the Lords of Shadows or something like that, it was just boring. Right? I mean, it was another hack and slash, but yeah, it was. I don't know. I can only talk about what like at least my experiences with a lot of games, and some of them kind of added along the line with a lot of people, but it's just like, it's not that I know what a bad game is, because like for the Sotoholic, he likes Halo 4. I just think Halo 4 is like another Call of Duty. Like, it's almost like a Call of Duty, in my opinion, right? I mean, and it was a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I played the heck out of the multiplayer, but it just felt like the pacing of it just felt like Call of Duty in the way. And the Halo 5 multiplayer is not bad. I mean,
man, if you think Halo 4 is another Call of Duty game, I think you're playing Call of Duty wrong. I just gotta get that out.
I don't think. It just for me, it felt like another Call of Duty game. I mean, and then each Call of Duty game, I feel like they get a little bit different each time. Right, I mean, Black Ops 2 was fun, and we could talk about Black Ops 2 like for days, right? And then they tried to change it in Advanced and Infinite Warfare with the with the suits,
yeah,
and stuff. But it just felt weird to me, and so I always go back to, Black Ops and Black Ops 2, right? I mean, but yeah, I mean, it was just like with the whole loadout system, and I felt kind of weird because it was like, I'm used to just like having a default weapon and then going to the battlefield and picking different weapons to kind of like, outplay other players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and then there's like perks and stuff, and like, you pick your guns and everything, and just like, there's perks in the game where I only use dexterity and fast reload, and that was it. I mean, there was other stuff that like I could use, but I just didn't, because it just like, it just like, I had the overpowered set, right?
Yeah.
And so
I just think like stuff like that just is another way to draw a bigger audience, because I can see why both Halo, like the 1, 2, and 3 are better than 4, and why 4 can be better than 1, 2, and 3. But like, I guess it just all has to do with like how you said, the type of player playing the game, because like you grew up with 1, 2, and 3, and in those games you had to pick up your own weapon, but in the fourth one you can still pick up guns, but to the most part, like, you're making your own class. But for me, being like a Call of Duty fan more than a Halo fan, the Halo 4 is another way like to bridge that gap between Call of Duty and Halo 4 while still keeping it Halo. Is at least what I feel.
See, for me, what Scuba Steve was saying about the perks, that's completely true. What the fuck was that all about?
Yeah.
The perks and the rewards for the your kill streaks, even that was questionable. Even though it wasn't as powerful as Call of Duty's kill streaks, it was still kill streaks. That to that point, I fully understand. But for me, it's difficult to hear about the class thing, is because it depended on the game type that you played. Because some of the game types that you played in Halo 4, you had all the same class. Same with Halo Reach and Halo, well, not really Halo 3, but really Halo Reach. Depending on what game mode you could play, different classes with different armor abilities had different weapons. But that's just, I don't understand why that's just mixing up the gameplay. But this is considered like destroying Halo when it just depends on the specific game mode that you're playing. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think it's just for me, when they added the perks and stuff, that's when it was kind of like, that's when I was like, oh, it's just like Call of Duty, because it's like now you're adding things to make things uneven.
Their kill cams
because at least in Halo,
ass.
yeah. Because at least in Halo Reach, it's like the loadouts were just like the guns and the armor abilities, right? And so, but it's just
We gotta do a podcast where it's just talking about like I just need to argue about the Halo. We just gotta make it a Halo one.
I guess we're not talking about. I guess we're just gonna talk about Halo for the rest of it because I got.
We can just.
I was watching
on
this.
Make it another topic.
Okay.
Just make it a hot
I
take.
have a fucking that would a hot take special Halo. But I do have something to say that's unpopular opinion to like a lot of people. But I think Pablo and I stand on the same side here. I don't want to speak for you, Pablo. So if you disagree, feel free to be like, yo, Soundaholic, you don't speak for me. Fuck you, get out of here.
Okay.
But I've said this before. I don't know if we released it, but I think that the sequel trilogies of the Star Wars movies aren't bad. And in fact, I think they're pretty good. And I think if the episode 7, 8, or 9 of Star Wars, the series, if those movies are bad, then the rest of Star Wars is bad. I don't know if Pablo agrees with me on that one, but I think... Don't you agree that the sequel trilogies are at least a fun watch?
Are you talking about?
Okay.
So you're talking about 7, 8, 9?
Yeah, I'm talking about 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Man, that's where you lost me.
Alright, so 7, 8, 9, I did enjoy watching. I won't lie. But for like the avid Star Wars fans, like 7, 8, 9 did not do justice at all to like 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6, because it kind of like tore it in a whole different direction. Like I've been watching a lot of the YouTubers talk about how like the Star Wars is supposed to what is this? It's kind of like the Marvel treatment to the Star Wars franchise, or at least 7, 8, 9, and calling it uncanon, or like making it a multiverse kind of thing. Well, they're saying like they're LucasArts wants to make the 7, 8, 9 uncanon, but
yeah, they do.
But
I read that.
One way they're gonna do it is by saying like, well, you know how like, or you didn't watch it, but like in Star Wars Rebels, they have like a sort of multiverse, I guess, or like a bridgeway door portal thing that you can see alternate features and stuff in Star Wars Rebels, and they said they're gonna use that somehow to make it to where 7, 8, 9 are uncanon.
wasn't canon.
Dude, I
Yeah.
hate that. See, I love the 7. Well, love is a strong word. I just don't think they're as bad as people say, especially in the grand scheme of Star Wars. Because for me, at least, everything fit. because 1,
No,
2,
yeah,
and
I
3
agree
did not
with you, I agree
complement the
with you.
original, and the original had some plot holes in itself, like how Leia still kissed her brother in episode 5, but somehow she always knew that he was her brother in episode 6, or how the Death Star blew up in 4 that they've been building since forever, since the inception of the Empire. But then comes 6, it's like halfway done, but still fully operational. Like if it was fully operational at half the size, why didn't you make a smaller size? Like there's plot holes everywhere, you know. Episode 1, 2, 3, they're like, oh, there's a prophecy. Where the fuck did the prophecy come from in 4, 5, and 6? You know. So there's plot holes in all of Star Wars, and if I can overlook the plot holes in the, the main saga, then I could look past some of the plot holes introduced in 7, 8, and 9. And I'm not talking about like giving it a pass. Some of the aspects in these movies suck, but like as for big strides, like Luke Skywalker being like a hermit, to that I can understand. I mean, fucking Luke left his training with Yoda midway through to go save his friends, which is the exact opposite of what he was supposed to do. It just means he's flawed, you know? It means that he puts his emotions first, and, sometimes that happens. If you were to watch episode 1, 2, and 3 before 4, 5, and 6, there would be an outcry saying Anakin would never turn to the dark side. Darth Vader shouldn't be a thing. So, to the point of 7, 8, and 9, I thought it was a good movie. I thought they were fun movies, and I don't think they deserved as much hate as it did, because all of Star Wars is stupid. If those Star Wars are stupid, that's my point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just feel like I watched 9, and I was just looking at it in more of a film aspect, and like wondering, like, it was just paying attention to the dialogue and the characters and and all that kind of stuff, and it was just like, man, this is like very cheesy, and like it was just like, I felt like it wasn't even well done, right? I mean, and it wasn't like played out as well. It just felt like all the jokes were very corny, and like I didn't really feel for any of the characters, and the ending was just
cheesy, cliche.
Like, and it wasn't. It didn't.
Undeserved.
Just like the whole movie was just, it was just, I don't know. I guess like it looked. I mean, I don't know. It looked like a fun movie. I mean, there was very like it was just shots and shots and shots of like action, and like quick shots and people running and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, this is just like, this just is a quick cash grab movie.
Yeah.
Like it's not really like. I wasn't really invested in the characters and stuff. I just felt like, and I was watching like a critique on it, and it was, and it was like, it's very similar to like some of the older Star Wars, with like the scene with Luke, he's uncovering his ship, in that scene for that the main character, I forgot her name. But like, but like it mirrors. Yeah, right. It mirrors the scene in was it in
part 5, I think?
Empire Strikes
part 4,
Back?
the end of part 4, where they take out his ship from Dagobah.
Yeah, from the water. Yeah, Yoda like was like,
That's episode 5.
Episode 5. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know.
See, like that's the thing.
I like the spin-offs a lot better than the main storyline ones. Like Rogue One was I liked that one, and it was fun to watch, and yeah.
See, that was my thing. Like as standalone movies, they're bad. Like all of them are bad.
I agree. As standalone movies, they're trash.
Dude, those prequel movies were like the dialogue, it was awful.
No!
Sand is cold. Dude, no.
Alright, so
it was awful.
Here. My favorite Star Wars movie is part 3. Now that I've rewatched all of them and like I have a better understanding of all of them, I think like top. Man, this is gonna sound so bad. Oh, all the Star Wars fans are gonna hate me. My top 3 are part 3, Rogue One, and Han Solo movie. and everyone's gonna hate me for that. Anyways, but
Well, no, see, there's no problem with that list right there.
But anyways, to tie a knot to what you were saying, I do agree. The storyline, the way they went about 7, 8, and 9 was really good in order to tie up the storyline. And the reason why I liked part 9 so much compared to like part 8 or part 7 is because it ties in everything from part 1 to the end of part 6. Because in part 1 they introduced Darth Plagueis the Wise. No, that was in part 3. But they also introduced the Metachlorians in part 1, which nobody liked, but they still like they use everything in those 7, 8, and 9 to, well, at least 9 to finish the movie or to finish the story. But where I can see is wrong is they should have added another hour, because it was only like 2 hours or so long. They should have added another hour to put more like character development, because it was so rushed, and I do agree that it was so rushed. They should have added that extra hour for character development in order to have all the characters feel like they went through something. But I do like the 7, 8, 9, and just so they like tie up the story. It does make a lot less plot holes, and it answers a lot of the questions that were left unanswered for like all of the 2 series before.
Right.
I think.
I mean, I'm not a. I guess I'm just watching these Star Wars as through like. I mean, obviously for entertainment, but also to like, you know, if it's a good film or not.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I guess that'll be mine and
an individual film.
Hot takes for that part. How about you, Scuba Steve? Do you have a movie you like that not a lot of
movies?
People
I mean, I feel like we talked about this in our top 5. Dora the Explorer was fun. The live action, I love that movie.
have not seen that movie.
That is unfortunate for you. It's a great movie.
There's a lot of movies that I watched that like didn't age too well.
Space Jam.
Like, I Robot. I watched I Robot and the other day, and you know, I used to watch that religiously as a kid, and you know, I rewatched it, and I was like, man, this is kind of boring, right? I mean, it's, you know, and freaking, but
it's cool. It's a generic action flick, though, right?
No, yeah, I mean, it's a very Hollywood movie. I mean, Will Smith is. I mean, he plays some pretty. I mean, you already know what it is. But you know, freaking robots. That was a good movie. Remember Robots?
Yeah,
with the
one.
robots. But I don't know, man. I mean, freaking. Come back to me. Let's talk about something. Because again, it's just like you know, if I don't like a movie, most people don't like not because I don't like it, but it's just like, you know, when someone's like, oh, this movie's trash, and I watch it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Right? And they're like, oh, this movie's good, and it's like, oh, but I'm not like that into like, you know, I don't know much about like camera, the cinematography, like that heavy, or you know, screenwriting or that kind of stuff. So I'm like, you know, I just go off base how I feel, right, and how throughout the movie. I mean, yeah.
It's
Plus, I
one
don't.
thing to
I mean,
insult a person to work like as a person, but I mean, I think it's fair to say, just because you're not a cook doesn't mean a food doesn't taste nasty. If a movie's bad,
I mean, Train to Busan, that was an alright movie. I mean, for a zombie movie. Right, I mean, the dialogue was kind of corny and stuff, but I felt like they could have fleshed out the train scenes a lot better and used the whole like train to their advantage. Because I like the scene where they were fighting the zombies, train like from each little box to the other. I thought that was cool, and they did, but I mean, I like the Matrix, the third Matrix movie. I don't know if a lot of people like that one, but I like I feel like that one's my favorite Matrix movie. Maybe because I only watch it for the action, right? I like how you can get on those big robot things and they're shooting the other robot sentinels. I just think that's pretty dope. I think it's badass. That's the only reason why I watch that movie is for those scenes. But I don't get me wrong. I mean, Matrix 1 is fun, and 2 is like freaking the mind messes with your mind. But three is just, for me, it's just a go to action movie for me, but I guess that's mine. I don't know if a lot of people like the third Matrix, but I do. I think it's cool.
And that's all that matters, man. You liked it. And I liked it.
Yeah, right.
Leave me alone.
Alright, do we have any cartoons? Controversial cartoons? Anyone?
Or like TV shows or anything?
Yeah.
I mean,
TV shows, yeah, my bad. I'm just... Alright, here's my hot take then, I guess. I don't like live action shows that much. I just think they're boring, to be honest.
Really? Like The Office?
Yeah.
And It's Always Sunny and
I guess it's just like not my cup of tea, because like
Breaking Bad?
in cartoons you can do so much with cartoons, but like you can't do very much in real life. The only one that there's like a couple that I do like The Mandalorian I like only because it's Star Wars though. But and again, like I don't know, a lot of people like what is it called? The freaking it's not Lord of the Rings. What is it?
It's like Game of
Thrones. There we go.
Game of Chairs.
Game of
Oh,
Thrones.
Game of Thrones? Game of Thrones, yeah.
I did not watch Game of Thrones, but I don't know. I just don't like live action shows in general. They're
Wait,
just
so
kind of like
why'd you bring up the Game of Thrones then?
Yeah, I feel like
if you haven't watched it, I mean, because the Game of Thrones is good. I mean, I read the books. I read one of the books, and it was pretty good. And but I watched the whole series, and like I think that like the peak of it was like season 5.
yeah.
It's like 4 or 5, something like that. Like the middle seasons were like the peak of it, and then it just falls after like 7 and 8, which is like, what the hell, dude? Like this is just.
I think my main point is like you could do this for most of the live action shows, like Marvel shows or like those Game of Thrones, is like you can do the same thing in cartoons and make it better by having it like more extreme, or have it not extreme but like more animated. Like you can put more emphasis on stuff in cartoons, and like or like in anime, for example. Like you can put more emphasis in art rather than in person. But I do see why like those shows are popular, because it is like a real life kind of thing. But like for me, it's just like it's not like as entertaining, and I don't really like it because it's not as entertaining.
I get it.
Yeah, but if I want to watch like a Game of Thrones and like animated, I'll just watch anime.
Exactly. That's my point.
Right?
That's my point.
But Game of Thrones, but like Game of Thrones, and I mean, I feel like you feel more connected to like those kind of shows, because it's like, well, they're actual humans, like they're real people, right? I mean, and so it's like when you watch cartoons, it feels like more of a fantasy, right? Things that you can't do. I mean, it's like when you want to watch like something that's over the top version of Game of Thrones through animation, it's like, well, that's impossible for a human, right? Yeah. So it's like it looks cool and stuff, but there's this sort of like connection, like The Office. and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like those are great shows, and I think they're really funny and fun to watch up until a point, right? I mean,
Yeah.
There's some seasons where it's kind of like boring and not fleshed out as well, but like you build this sort of connection with real life people. Or I just had another point. I totally forgot. So Alec, you speak.
Okay, but it's not related to this. But
all right, you can change the topic. Go for
wait,
it.
I guess sorry, just like this bug noise going on in my room. Okay, now I can think. Right, but it's just like, or like Breaking Bad. That's what I was going. Breaking Bad Breaking Bad. For example, I mean, it's probably one of the best television that I've ever seen, and a lot of people, it has really high recognition, and a lot of people love the show, right? And like, it's like, it would be seen differently if it was animated, right?
Yeah.
It would feel more childish in a sense and more cartoonish,
Yeah.
and it's just like there's this dark tone that you can see. And people's real facial expressions and you can see emotion in real life human beings, right? And
I think
and
I
stuff,
found
and
my
it's
answer to your for the reason why I don't like it is because it's a mix between it doesn't move fast enough and it's like a wannabe movie kind of. How long are the Game of Thrones shows usually? They're like 45 minutes long, right? For each episode, and they move pretty slow. I'm not gonna say Game of Thrones moves pretty slow because I don't know all of them, but for most of what I've seen for live action, they move really slow. Whereas cartoons, since you're on a budget and you're on a time limit, they move fast, and that's what I like about them. And the same thing for movies. You can't really tell a whole story in 2 hours. It's really hard to tell a story in 2.5 hours, so they make it move faster. And that's what I like about cartoons and movies is that they move fast. But again, TV shows are given that time limit, or they don't really have a time limit because they can just move it to another episode if they have to, and then they just fledge out the rest with fillers, and it kind of moves slowly. Is what I don't like the most about live action shows, at least.
Well, I mean, I feel like you're saying TV shows are just wannabe movies. It's kind of like, well, if you wanted to watch an 8-hour
movies with more time to kill. Is what it is, really.
Well, the thing is, it's movies. There's a set time where you have to set up certain things.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's my point.
And specific things. But the thing is with TV shows, you can flesh things out. You can flesh things like characters, and and dialogue and all that kind of stuff, right? And so when you have a television show, you're able to have more time to for the characters and stuff, and to build a relationship with these people with the movie, it's you have to pick a specific time for specific things, and set it up where it's the right amount of growth of the character and action and all that kind of stuff. So it's comparing the two is movies is one media, and TV shows are different because one flashes out one way and the other flashes out the other way.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, yeah, and cartoons too can be boring. I mean, Tom and Jerry, one of my favorite TV shows. There's some of them where it's because there's a whole bunch of episodes, right? But
yeah.
Or The Simpsons or something, or stuff like that. I mean, not every single episode is good. Right, I mean, and you can say the same thing for live action, but it's they're not every show can get it, but a lot of shows can get it in a different way,
Yeah.
So it's if you like watching faster paced shows, then you should just watch faster paced shows. I'm not gonna.
Well, yeah, that's why I like
The
Mandalorian.
Watch the Breaking Bad.
Mandalorian was only 8 episodes this first season. and they told a lot in those 8 episodes. But like, there's some live action shows that go on for like 15 plus 20 plus episodes that like they could do the same thing shorter. I just feel and it make it more exciting. But yeah, I understand why it is entertaining and why it is captivating for people, but like I guess it's just not my cup of tea. I just like, that's why I like the Marvel franchise, because they turned like something that could have been a TV show into movies, which was awesome because like they told a whole story through multiple movies, and each one was action packed, and that was awesome about it, and I really liked it. Anyways, do you guys have other takes?
I was just gonna say, I like all types of TV shows, drama, comedy, cartoon, real life. One of my favorites, though, is South Park. I love South Park.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good show.
Some people hate that show because it's so insensitive. And that's why
Very
I love
insensitive.
it. The one thing I will say about that show, and I think this is really important to say, is that it's a comedy. It doesn't hold back on anyone, you know. And you shouldn't, if you like
really
South
doesn't.
Park, but started like if you like South Park, but then started hating it because it started joking about whatever you're into, then that's a problem. Because if everything else was a joke, but for some reason yours was not, then maybe
Then you're
part
not
of you
watching
think
it right.
well, like maybe part of you think that some of these jokes are on true basis, and for me, like I'm Catholic, and they always joke about Catholic priests touching little boys. And I'm like, that's not true, but it's funny as hell, you know. Like you should be able to laugh with yourself. You should be able to. There shouldn't be a special bar just for you, just because that region is untouchable, but every single thing is, you know. That's my
That's a good point.
view, is that like South Park is great because it doesn't give a shit, and if you watch South Park, you shouldn't give a shit. But yeah, that's just my hot two on TV shows. I think we need shows like South Park to be on air. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. A quote comes up to me. I forget the exact phrasing of the quote, but like, if you can joke about others but can't joke about yourself, then you shouldn't be telling jokes in the first place. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, then you don't deserve to laugh at others. And that's pretty much what that show does. Is like it makes fun of everyone equally, and that's what makes that show pretty good.
CC.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up this podcast, right? But I hope you guys enjoyed talking about us. And sorry, I'm just really tired now. I'm drained, low key.
That was a long. This was a long episode.
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed listening. If you want, you can comment or not, right? But I mean, at the end, either way, we all have our ways to watch whatever, play our games and stuff. I mean, and Soto brings up a good point with with jokes and TV shows and stuff, and with games and things. Like if he prefers Halo 4 and I don't, then so be it. There's other games that we can play. Like we don't have to like everything. So
Minecraft.
But what matters is that you enjoy playing it, right? I mean, and you enjoy watching it. I mean, what you gotta do with things that make you happy.
If you want to hear more in depth about some of the things we touched upon, go check out these podcasts where we also talk about it. Insert there.
Insert podcast.
So, yeah.
Here.
Yeah.
There's a third one. There's a third one. I don't know if there was a second one.
There isn't a third one, but yeah.
But
So maybe I can just put the thumbnail for this one here. Yeah, I'll just do that. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
This is the third one. All right.
I hope you guys
Alright,
enjoyed.
guys, thanks
Leave
for
a
watching.
comment down below.
I hope you guys
What is
enjoyed,
a
and
movie
I hope you guys enjoy and
or video game that you didn't like, or that you liked but other people did not like.
and make sure you don't like slip on slime or anything, please. Thank you.
don't die.
That's very
We
important.
need all the views we can get from you.
Stop.
What? I'm saying don't die. I can't say don't die.
That's a
That's like
good
saying-
note to end on.
I
Alright,
mean,
see you
we
guys
added-
later.